18 to 28, I pretty much spent most of that in prison. 2 separate occasions. When I was 18, I was sentenced to 15. Got back into court about 2.5 years later. They took back 7, left me with 8. On 8 years, I did 5 years, 3 months, 7 days. I got out. I didn't make it a year. Violated my parole. A number of other things. I had 7 years over my head. They gave me 5 of that 7. I did 3 years, 23 days on 5. I haven't been arrested in 20, so I'm far removed from the person that I once was at that time. I think I've changed my life a number of times since then. And I've made a lot of mistakes. A lot of mistakes I learned the hard way. Most all the lessons I've kind of learned along the way. One of the smartest decisions when I look back at that time, whether unconsciously or consciously, was to never join a gang. And one of the biggest reasons being is I didn't want to be told what to do. Didn't want to be put in a situation where would either be made to do something that I didn't want to do, whether it could be, here's this, go get him. And it's for no reason of my own. This has nothing to do because of what somebody did to me or vice versa. It's just, if I get fucked up, I want it to be because of something I did or something somebody took as me doing, not for the sole fact of I am connected to other people through this group. I'll give you a great example of why that was a very good decision. So this is ECI Westside. I'm sure y'all know the name DMI, Dead Man Inc. The time I spent in prison was about 2000 to 2009. So in that 10-year period is when I did all my time. In the course of that time, DMI was in the beginning, non-existent, especially at ECI. Like you wouldn't have known anybody in 99, 2000 that was DMI. But I know in 2000, DMI was very small. And at ECI, almost non-existent. I'd come onto a tier where there was one dude who was DMI. He was the only dude in this entire housing unit. He was early 20s. He was young. Salisbury somewhere, if I'm not mistaken. Called him Trey. He was doing a big chunk of time. I think it was 15 or 20 years, I think, at the time. But he was the only dude on the tier who was actual certified DMI on our tier at that time. And me and him got along real well. Like, some of my best friends were DMI. But I wasn't. Nobody ever pushed me to join. I mean, like, most of these dudes are really cool dudes, especially earlier in kind of the building of DMI. So it's me and this dude, Trey. And there was some time that just me and him built a friendship of sorts over time. Couple months, I'd been on this tier. Trey's the only guy in the entire housing unit who was DMI. And we get a transfer. Dude, his name's Ricky Tolson. Sure, true shit. If you've ever seen, by chance, the gangland of DMI, he's in that. That's him. That's the one and the same, Ricky fucking Tolson. So Ricky Tolson comes into the tier. He's DMI as well. I think he came from Hagerstown. Me and Trey are pretty close. He sleeps down the hall from me, probably 3 or 4 cells down from me. Ricky Tolson comes into the jail. So now there's 2 DMI in total in this entire housing unit. Me, Trey, Ricky, we all get pretty close, play a lot of cards together, we eat together. Like, we're always walking, talking, joking together. It's typically us 3. Time goes by, we're all getting close, accustomed. And like I said, these 2 are together. Like, in the grand scheme of the world in which we are, these 2 are certifiably locked together. I'm just kind of part of the crew. Like, if it's something dealing with that, that's entirely them. I'm not involved. I'm not told. I don't hear nothing. Like, it's their shit unless it's our shit. So Ricky Tolson is a cool motherfucker. Trey is as well. Like, they're both cool, but they're both 2 very different people. Like, Trey was he reminded me almost like a college dropout type of kid. Like, he probably read a lot of books. Not knocking people who read books, but like, I'm trying to picture this kid for you to where you can see him. So he looks like he's all early 20s. He's just a young kid, little dude. He's not big. He don't lift weights. He don't do none of that shit. Ricky Tolson, on the other hand, is from Baltimore City or County, one or two. And he's another type of dude. Now, he's a genuinely good dude. Like, if you were hungry, he'd feed you. Like, he's just that type of dude. Like you wouldn't go without with Ricky. Over time, it's just us 3. Probably maybe a year, maybe a little under. but there's not many DMI even in the entire prison. Fast forward, a new dude comes into the tier, another DMI kid. I can't remember this kid's name for the life of me, but he did 2 tattoos on me, if I'm not mistaken. I think he did this one, the Cameron right here, and he did something else somewhere. So now there's 3 total DMI on the tier, and me. So it's us 4, kind of a little circle of homeboys, so to speak. We're all together for a while. You know, DMI over that year has slowly kind of gained a couple numbers spread out, you know, through 1, 2, 3, east side, just like the numbers of actual DMI itself have kind of slowly begun to grow larger than what they were a year or 2 before even. This random fucking kid, I don't remember nothing about this kid other than he was just this kid that none of us had ever really even dealt with. This long hair, black haired cornball of a kid he was just some other kid. Suddenly gets brought home, joined DMI, this long haired black kid. And I don't think he had been in this tier a month. Young kid. He was fucking young, dumb, just a cornball of a kid that nobody even had really fucked with. And it didn't make sense to me, least of all, but I'm not part of that group. So like I say, I don't get to know none of the intricate details of like what they're doing, why they do it, who, you know, all that. It's none of my fucking business. It's me, Trey, Ricky, Tattoo Yo. They bring this random kid in. That night, so it's the very same day they bring this kid in, when they do a pill call, like your meds. So they'll kind of, at one time of the night, they'll hit all the doors on the tier for anybody that's got medication. And for that, they all walk up. Oh, so Ricky is now cell buddies with Trey. So Trey and Ricky live like the 3 cells up from me. So they've been cell buddies for probably 3-4 months. They had those 2 were really close. Ricky and Trey were very close. They had been together for at least a good year in this tier together. So Ricky was on meds. This other long-haired black kid was on meds. So they both go at the same time for medication. I don't see Ricky at all the rest of the night. I don't know where he is. I don't know what's happened. Ricky and this long-haired black kid are now gone. They're completely just up, vanished. Nobody knows, at least at me at that time. I had no fucking idea what was going on. Fast forward the next morning, I get word that the long-haired black kid was chasing Ricky Tolson around the whole courtyard of the inner of the prison with a lock on a belt, trying to beat him with it. So this is what happened during pill call the night before. Ricky's still not back. They've already locked up the long-haired black kid. He's already gone. This is now after lunch rec. So lunch has already happened. We're now this is Valentine's Day. I'll fucking never forget this. It was Valentine's Day. We all come out, and we used to sit under this set of steps. Like the rec hall is 2 levels. And the steps that come down, we used to slide back underneath of that, put some chairs up against the wall, and we just kind of sat in a corner. That's where we always sat. And I'm sitting here, I'm waiting on the phone. So whenever this dude gets off the phone, I got the next on the phone. Ricky Tolson comes walking through the door. I've only heard bits and pieces about what happened the night prior with this new kid, with this kid that I'm telling you hadn't fucking been there a month, chasing him around the fucking courtyard trying to beat him up. So I remember vividly, fucking sitting in this chair, and right as Ricky Tolson come in the door to the rec hall, I'm looking at him. I just remember looking at him like, you all right? And just shook his head. And I'm just gonna leave it alone. It ain't none of my fucking business. Like, this real shit. I ain't got nothing to do with this. Right at that fucking moment, my phone opens up. This dude's like, yo, pay phone. Now Trey and Tattoo Yo was sitting where I was sitting. When I hop up, Ricky took my seat. So I'm not 10 foot from this. Like, I mean, I'm right around the steps pretty much on the phone, just kind of watching. Ricky Tolson had his shower bag with him. He bends over to get his shower stuff out of his bag. I'm telling you, his head's down just like this, and he's pulling the stuff out of his bag. Right at that moment, Trey stood up on the left side of him. Tattoo Yo stood up on the right side of him. Trey got a little lock on a belt, And this one of them little baby locks. Like, they had already gotten rid of the big boy locks, the ones that would really hurt you. They only had these little baby ones. They were just these little half a lock from the big ones. So Trey got this little baby little lock locked in at the end of a belt loop. Tattoo Yo got a toothbrush with a razor blade melted into it. So these two stand up while Ricky's head is in between his legs. Like, Yo has no fucking idea what's like evolving around him. They stand up one time. Trey, pop, writes him in the fucking top of the head. Tattoo Yo pops him right in the top of his fucking shoulder. I swear to God, he slid that bitch down from the top of his shoulder to his fucking elbow. Flayed him like a fish. I'm telling you, his whole fucking bicep just said fucking wide open. I can hear Ricky screaming. I mean, a guttural fucking he fucking come up. I'm telling you, this boy had just got cracked in the head on one side. Yo slid his whole fucking arm open. He come up fucking screaming. I'm telling you, fucking fire red. Fucking screaming, bro. I ain't never in my life seen a man come up the way this man come up. And he come up fucking screaming. And he fucking turned, and the first person he saw was his cell buddy. First person he fucking looked up and seen was Trey, who had been his fucking best fucking friend for a year. Solid. Years. His fucking cell buddy. Like, these motherfuckers have done it all together for a year. Tattoo Yo been cooling in the circle for a solid 6 months. So he's coming up seeing, this is my two fucking road dogs. One banged him in the head. One filleted his whole fucking arm. Bro, he come up. Trey tried to throw one more fucking solid fucking hit across his face. My word to God, Ricky Tosin fucking grabbed that belt and fucking yanked it right out of his fucking hand. Threw that shit to the ground, bro. And just started bow, 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 bow. I'm saying he pounded Trey's head 10 solid times. 10 solid times. Trey took direct monster fucking hits to the face. Yoda had the knife, tried to get him another time. I think he dropped it or something. Yo dips entirely. Like, he ran upstairs somewhere or something. Like a chain link fence that separates the tier from the rec hall. So it's not like a wall or glass or nothing. It's just a chain link fence. So anything that's happening in here, you can hear out there. So it was a woman, police sitting at the table, who sees like the action, because as soon as shit hit the fan, if it's quiet, that's when you know something going down. Shit just got. You hear a fucking pin drop. Ricky is beating the fuck out of Trey. I mean, beat this man bad. The police is coming to the fence. She's yelling, stop it, stop it. She's calling the code. And he back up, back up, back up, back up, back up. All the police are running from the other tiers. They finally fucking come in. And they're not coming in until they got enough to handle the situation. Like, they're not going to come in there and risk their lives for you. Like, they're going to come in there when they know they can lock it down. Like, it's just that simple. And I'm just on the phone the whole time like, what the fuck is going on? I've been eating with these guys for a year. And I'm not involved, so I'm not going to know. Like, I don't get told. Like, you ain't nobody, so you ain't going to get told nothing. The police finally come in. Yo, they lock all three of them up. It's a mess. They're cleaning shit up. They take them out to jail. And I'm just sitting here like, well, all my boys is gone. Like, that was it. That was my circle. Up until 15 fucking minutes ago, these are the only 3 fucking people I've ever dealt with for the last year. They gone. Turns out, long story short, what it was, other DMI and other housing units who had seniority or, had done certain things, who felt that they were certain levels of the joint, didn't like what Ricky was doing and sent word he needed to be taken out. This is all shit I find out later, just over the course of time. The word come down to Trey and Tattoo Yo. Ricky got to go. And they're the only ones in the whole fucking house unit. So it's on them. It's on them to deal with it. Like, there ain't nobody else. They ain't got no choice. If Somebody tell you, yo, you gotta go take care of yo. You gonna take care of yo, or they gonna take care of you. That's it. Trey and Tattoo Yo get the bright idea, yo, we gonna bring this cornball home, and we gonna send cornball out there to go get him, because Trey don't want to deal with Ricky. Tattoo Yo was real dope fiend. Like he just wasn't a big dude neither. Ricky lifted weights. There wasn't a bitch in Ricky's fucking body. Wasn't an ounce of bitch in Ricky. So to work him down, they had to hit him. They fucking bring Yo in solely for the reason, solely, no other fucking reason than to put a lock in Cornball Yo's hand and tell him go take out Ricky. Well, they sent a cornball fucking moron to do a man's job, deal with a man, deal with a goddamn man. And the boy couldn't get nowhere near him. I mean, I'm not gonna stand and let you hit me in the head with a lock neither. You're gonna have to come get me. So once Cornball fucked it all up, these boys had no choice. These boys had no other fucking choice but to fuck his cell buddy up. That was one of the... Promise you, later that afternoon, I'm just... I fucking dodged a bullet. Thank fucking God I wasn't. Because I'd have had no other fucking choice but to fucking hit a person that I got nothing but love for. I got nothing but respect for this man. Like, this man has never done me wrong. And now I'd just be expected, because Yo down House Unit 3 tell me take him out, that I'm gonna take him out. It don't fucking work like that. Not with me, at least.